All rise for pledge.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, notations of the exits in the front and the rear. An electronic device, please put it on vibrate. Make a motion to come out of the executive session, no action taken.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First item on the agenda is the public hearing for Chapter 71, blasting permit issuance, insurance and requirements, 750 to 1,000 feet. Waive the reading of the public hearing. Motion to go into the public hearing?
Second.
Oh, we didn't do a roll. Okay, we didn't do a roll call yet. Roll call?
Okay. Councilman Alvarez?
Here.
Councilwoman Eckhart?
Here.
Councilman Larka?
Here.
Councilman Lord?
Here.
Supervisor Hay?
Here. Okay. Someone made a motion to go in. Okay, we'll make a motion to open the public hearing for blasting permit, insurance and requirements. And right now we're asking for 750 to 1,000 feet. It's Chapter 71. Anyone wish to speak to that item? Okay, we're going to have this again in a few weeks probably, where there's some suggestions being made for more restrictive thing. Are you going to have something ready, Lynn, in the next?
Yeah, Tony, my feeling was, and I'd be happy to hear from anyone on the board, but that there were probably some other items in our law that could be updated, so that it would be good to really look at the entire law and update whether, I completely agree we need to raise the insurance requirements, and I do believe we should raise the number of feet of people who will have to be notified. And I looked into other towns, North Salem, Kent, Patterson, Phillipstown. So I'll do more research, and then we'll close the public hearing tonight, I think is the suggestion, and renotice it, and we can redline and really go through the law and have it, and do it all at one time.
Okay,
That would be my suggestion, if the board is okay with that.
just have it to maybe the Monday before the meeting so we can advertise.
Yeah, and I'd like, if I may, I'd like to talk to Ashley about it. I don't need to get her heavily involved, but she might have some suggestions that would be real time savers, and that will be easy enough to do for us.
If you can't make the next meeting, it can be the following meeting. So just when you're ready for it, let us know.
Okay. And anyone from the board who wants to help or has suggestions, that's great too.
Okay? I make a motion to close the public hearing.
You're going to close
I'll
it or
second.
keep it open?
No,
no.
we're
We're gonna close.
yeah, Will suggested we
There's going to be
close it.
further amendments.
Okay.
Was there a second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is Chapter 54A, numbering of buildings. I'll waive the reading of the public hearing. Make a motion to open it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone to the number of buildings? Right now, our code reads 3-inch, national is 4, and we're going to require 4-inch. However, if you have 3-inch, we're not asking you to change it, but anyone coming in new will have to have the 4-inch lettering. Anyone to speak to that? Pardon?
Numbering.
Numbering, what did I say?
Lettering.
Oh, letters and Roman numerals.
Yeah, they'll love Roman numerals. Great idea, Tony.
And I have to admit, there's a lot of people out there, you do not have your houses numbered. And someday when you're gonna need it, you better get it done. Because we've been walking around town for the past couple of weeks, and I'm telling you, it's very difficult to find some houses, especially on private roads. Okay, anyone to the public? Seeing none, make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, first item on the work session, discussion 2019 highway improvement funding, highway law 284 agreement. So move for opening.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're on. You're on. 284, we're discussing it this evening?
We're going to discuss the 284 agreement, so, right now.
Yeah, it sounded as though you were ready to vote on it, that's why.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no, no.
know
I don't-
that you were requiring any comment.
No.
Okay, so,
I'm going to turn this over to Tony, and then you can, obviously, we want your
Well, no,
comments.
let the
Okay, if
superintendent
you
highway
wanna-
speak to
Okay.
his proposal, and then we'll do what we have to do from there.
Essentially, it's the same as I proposed the last meeting 2 weeks ago, with the exception of one mathematic correction in the general repair line. All the other roads to be paved are identical, and I would open myself for any questions or comments.
Mike, I just have one question or comment on the second page for the paving of Tulip Road. I think it should just read commencing at Dingle Ridge, leading to the cul-de-sac.
On the second page,
For Tulip Road, it just says commencing at Nichols Road. I think it should be Dingle Ridge.
what is the question about Nichols Road?
On the second page of the 284, you have here that Tulip Road's to be resurfaced,
Yes.
and it says here, on the road commencing at Nichols Road and leading to the cul-de-sac, and I just think that should be Dingle Ridge.
Do you want me to show you where it is?
Yeah, sure.
Mike, I'll show you. It is confusing. Let me show you.
I may be just missing a page here.
So, in other words, on the road commencing at, it says Nichols Road, but we think it should be Dingle Ridge Road for Tulip, because I think that's where you mean that it would commence from. Is that correct?
That should be Dingle Ridge, correct. Absolutely, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No problem.
And then, Mike, I just had one other question.
I had two parts of Nichols Road that were subject or being paved, so I was looking at that instead of that one. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
no problem.
I agree.
I don't know if this has to do with the 284 agreement or not, but a few weeks ago, or a couple months ago, we talked about Maple Road, and I think you were going to get some pricing on potentially doing some millings there. Millings maybe wouldn't require the DEP approval, but maybe a happy medium between, I know some people don't want that road paved and some people do. I was just curious if that would be part of this, or could that be added, or, I know that a public hearing, I think the board wanted a public hearing for that, but if you had any cost for that.
It's, as you know, that anytime throughout the year, we can amend the 284 agreement as we agreed to tonight. Maple Road was omitted because there are, since even last year, the DEP regulations and DEC regulations have changed considerably. I went to a meeting down in Valhalla with the DEP a couple weeks ago. We're trying to iron out what we can do and what we can't do there with regard to the new regulations. So should we come up with an agreement with them that's going to function, I'll present you with the costs for that project at that time.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
And also at that time, and I know you and Tom have been looking into this, obviously, residents over there, both for the proposal and not for the proposal, will probably want to be apprised and be here. And so whenever you know, that would be great.
I would certainly let the public know before we took any action on that
Great.
road.
Okay. We know that one's controversial, so anyhow, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
No, there'll be no surprises.
Okay.
Okay, on number one, the general repair line, as you mentioned earlier, went from 1.4 million to $1,004,000. Now, under the permanent improvements, your current budget, the town budget, you have $206,300, $206,300. The road repairs that you're requesting, which we all agree with, comes out to $381,000 and change. you're short $175,100.
Well, the thought would be to take that out of the current EWR, the Extreme Winter Recovery Funds, the CHIPS funds, or wherever there's more than ample money in that.
Okay, so we've prepared a resolution,
Okay,
okay? We can take it out of, there's two ways to do it. You can take the full amount, $175,100 from surplus, the DB line surplus, or you can use $91,153 in CHIPS money and $83,947 from the fund balance. Do you have a preference?
we could certainly do it out of that way and then address future concerns as they come up.
Okay, so what we'll do this evening then, we're going to approve this, and when it comes to number two, we'll read that resolution in to take the monies. Do you want it all from the general fund? I mean, CHIPS and fund balance?
I would say it would be easier to, the CHIPS funds are rolloverable, but we're more than going to accommodate all the CHIPS funds that are available this year through, the roads have deteriorated pretty well over the winter, so there is going to be an additional list of roads that require attention this year.
Okay, so so if we take 175 from,
My suggestion would be we just take it out of the fund balance
Okay.
right now.
We got
and
one
it would
written up
keep-
for-
It would
we
be a
got-
one-step process. It's very clean, and we could leave the, because I don't actually have the new fund, the new CHIPS funding yet. They don't notify us till sometime mid-April.
okay, when we pass it this evening, we will read it into the record and add this additional, that will give you full funding. Everything is done tonight.
You'll
This-
get full funding tonight, so you can move forward.
That's fine.
Good, we just wanted to make sure.
Okay, we'll move that to the work session this evening. It's from the work session right to the regular meeting, it's number 5. Ready to go.
I'm sorry?
We're ready to go with it.
Yep.
Yeah, we
We'll
can.
approve it later
At
this
the
evening.
upcoming work session, I will let you know in advance of what the topics of discussion, and we can address them at that time.
Right.
That would be great, and you and I can work and make sure we have the correct backup papers, and we'll make sure it gets on the agenda. Okay?
Very good.
Thanks, Mike.
You're going to start this, obviously, now's the season, right? In the next month or so, and,
The paving,
yeah, and you'll be
all
able
the paving repairs, within a month. And we
ballpark, yeah.
started doing some temporary ones now, but the major ones, I like to let the roads warm up considerably. So it'd be May, June, probably, before the major work is done. But probably by the next work session, we're going to be able, will know which roads we want to address in addition to these and what the cost of those are.
and you think you'll be able to finish everything before the end of the year? In
Yes.
theory? Okay, great, thank you.
Not a problem.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, motion to go into regular meeting,
Second,
all in favor?
Aye.
First item on the agenda is correspondence, waive the reading of the correspondence. Number 2, approval of the voucher list, $875,070. So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3, setting of the meeting dates and public hearings. All meetings will be held at 1360 Route 22, Brewster, New York, 7 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Thursday, April 11, 2019, and Thursday, April 25th, 2019. So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 4 is budget transfer. Waive the reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Number 5, it's a resolution, 2019 Highway Improvement Funding, Highway Law 284 Agreement. Now therefore be resolved that the town board agrees to the amounts and allocations of road improvement and capital expenditures as set forth in the memorandum submitted by the highway superintendent as amended, a copy of which is annexed hereto and made a part hereof, and it be further resolved that an affirmative vote by a majority of the town board shall be deemed equivalent to the execution of an agreement by a majority of the town board as contemplated by Highway Law 284. An execution of a copy of this resolution by the highway superintendent shall be deemed equivalent to a fully executed agreement as to the expenditure of highway funds for the, that should be 2019, change that 8 to a 9, fiscal year as contemplated by Highway Law 284. And be further resolved that the town clerk shall enter this resolution into the minutes of this meeting, and that a fully executed copy hereof shall be filed in the office of the town clerk as directed by Highway Law 284. And be further resolved, the clerk is hereby directed to deliver a certified copy of this resolution to the highway superintendent forthwith. Now, before we vote on that, I want to move, waive the rules to accept another amendment to that.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, on the actual resolution to be read into the record, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now therefore be resolved that the Town of Southeast Town Board hereby authorizes the town accountant to transfer $175,100 from the Town Highway Department fund balance DB 00-0911-000-000 to improvements DB 00-5112-401-000, or to any other budget line deemed appropriate by the town accountant within the improvement section of the Town Highway Department budget to balance the request made for permanent improvements in the 2019 Improvement Funding Highway Law 284 agreement before the board this day. So we'll move those two as a package.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 6. Next is a resolution refund of a tax penalty Piggott.
Did we
Ne-
vote on that? Did we vote on that?
Yeah, we just did.
Okay.
You-
No
you
roll
want-
call? Okay, that's cool.
No. I mean, if you want a roll call, we can do a roll call.
No, that's cool.
Usually, if I think there's a question mark, I would do a roll call.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to where we were. Okay. Now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby authorizes a refund of a late payment penalty in the amount of $525.07 paid by Robert Piggott for failure to pay timely the 2018-19 school taxes and 2019 county and town taxes on premises known as 4 Larkspur Drive in a timely manner. And be further resolved that the town bookkeeping department is hereby authorized to issue a check in the amount of $525.07 be issued to Robert Piggott in full payment, accord and satisfaction of any claim Mr. Piggott may have against the town in connection with this matter, and be further resolved that the resolution is to take effect immediately. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 7, the resolution IMA for the Village of Brewster. Okay. Now therefore be resolved that the Village of Brewster Board of Trustees shall concur the IMA between the Village of Brewster and the Town of Southeast, wherein and whereby the village provides uniformed law enforcement personnel to serve as uniformed court officers serving the Town of Southeast Justice Courts, shall be amended to expand the scope of the IMA to include the provision of uniformed law enforcement personnel to other town facilities and functions on an as-needed basis, and further resolved that the Town Board of the Town Southeast hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute the amended IMA for this purpose, and a form and substance approved by the town attorney. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
I was going to just say, I'm not going to vote in favor of this. I don't want it to be, it's not to be looked at as a reflection on the Brewster Police, who I think highly of, and I met with Chief Delgado. It just doesn't sit well with me. And I want to be fully supportive of it. I understand that the board is in favor of it, and I just wanted to explain my vote, that's all.
Roll call vote.
Councilman Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Eckhart.
No.
Councilman Larka.
Yes.
Councilman Lord.
Yes.
Supervisor Hay.
Yes. Okay, last item on the agenda this evening is the supervisor's financial report. It's very early in the season, of course. I know the court revenue this year are still heading in the direction they were last year. Right now, we're kind of at the same level as last year, but that's not a good level. And other than that, it's really way too early in the season to have too much to report, so I'm not reporting. There's nothing I can do. It's too
That's
early.
fine, that's fine.
Okay. Public comment. Seeing none, Board?
I'm going to remind people it's super early, but we'll have one meeting, I think at least one meeting before, 2 meetings before, that we're going to have our annual cleanup weekend on Saturday and Sunday, April 27th and 28th. There is going to be a puppet show this year on the 27th, and I'll remind people when we get closer to the date, but we would love as much participation as we get on that. So thank you to everyone who's been working with me to do this again.
Anyone else?
Could I bring up new business or?
New business?
Yeah, just an idea.
Oh, no. Sure, go
Oh,
ahead.
there's one other thing about Morningthorpe Bridge that I got some answers. I know people have been asking.
Well, that's the purpose of it. Let's go.
I know, okay. Morningthorpe Bridge, I just heard that it's going to start in a few months. It is a $3.8 million project for a pedestrian bridge. The county is paying over $700,000 to make this happen. The rest is grants. And that's about as far as much as I know. I think they're hoping to have it done in 2019. So we've heard this all, I know this keeps,
Isn't this 2019?
yeah, they think but they said they'd start in a few months, but I noticed that the first grant was approved back in 2014, and then we heard it in 2017. So we can all take this with a grain of salt, but this is for people who have been asking about Morningthorpe Bridge. That's what's going on.
Okay, my idea?
I'm nervous.
I was wondering, the village is the place where most of the town events occur. The League Parade, Memorial Day Parade, Easter egg hunt, a lot of things. And the village gives those not-for-profit and civic organizations free security. They waive the security fees. That doesn't mean that the security officers don't get paid. It means that the village subsidizes it. And I was wondering if the town could maybe help out and put in some of the money for those events, you know, contribute something to the village to pay for those security details.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm going to remove you as a village liaison. That's going to happen in about 13 seconds.
I just think, you know, people come to them and the village is very welcoming and says, yes, you know, we're going to waive those fees because these organizations are trying.
What fees are they waiving?
Security fees, the men that have to be on call.
Did they bring in extra police for that, or is
I
it
think
part
so,
of it?
for
But
the
do you know-
village.
Do you know that for sure?
I don't know that for sure.
Well, why don't you
And I've
find out
never-
and come back, and next time he has to speak, I say
Next time,
no.
a stupid idea like that.
No, look, it's not stupid, but we all kind of work together with, you know, various things. We help out one initiative to another, putting a dollar figure on it. Find out if there's additional securities, whatever.
Okay, I know that they asked the people that are putting in parade permits and things like that to check with, to also let the fire department know, because I guess they have to be on call as well. So I just thought that,
Well, have
We
you know, we waive the fees as well. In other words, they're gonna be using our parks and things of that nature. We also waive our fees to those that participate as well. So it's a quid pro quo, so to speak. Maybe.
I think it's more on their side than ours, but okay, I'll look more into it, but I just wanted to float that idea, and having seen that it's been received so well, I'll think even harder next time.
When you say float, you're talking about a submarine, right, with a screen door?
Yeah. Get a dollar figure for them.
Okay,
Get
Thank
a
you.
solid
Thank you
figure.
for entertaining my idea.
you're very entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay, just briefly, please, with your 911 numbering, I mean, when you go home and you look at your neighbors, you ride around, please tell people how important it is. I'm telling you right now, someday someone's gonna need to see their house numbering. If they're a long way off the road, you can't tell. If you can make it 4 inches, please start doing it, because there's a lot of homes out there without it. We spoke the last time about false alarms. We're running about the same pace as last year, which is not good. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to start finding people. And one of the things the fire department told me, which I never thought of, participation by volunteers in the volunteer fire departments is going down with the younger generation. I guess there's not as much time, I don't know what's happening there, but they're saying to me that the false alarms are driving some of the men away, because they have to get out of their beds, get out of their homes, leave dinners, leave their picnics, to go and report the alarms that are false. Last year, 330 false alarms, and that turns a lot of people off. They don't want to go out there, I don't blame them. And, people take it as a joke, but I'm telling you right now, if you get called out of bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, people take off of work, most businesses will let people go, but the businesses are saying, hey, how much can we allow to have this happen? And someday, you might end up seeing a paid fire department, and it may not be too far away. So we've been hearing this for quite a few years. I know we have to pay for ambulance services now, or what they call emergency service ambulances. So we got to cut down on the fire alarms and the false alarms in particular, because if they continue at the pace of 333, I think it was last year, it's a tremendous amount, and it's really affecting the men and women who have to go out and answer the calls. So please, check your alarms and be good with it. Now, another thing, no burning. A lot of people are burning. You cannot burn in New York State now, I'll tell you now because it happened about a week ago, until around May 14th or May 15th?
May 15th.
May 15th. So don't start a fire. If you get someone, your neighbor calls, you're not allowed to have a fire, and these are DEC regulations. And other than that, I think we're in good shape. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to close tonight's meeting?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.